Everybody loves a good redemption story. We all love a good fall from grace story, especially when the protagonist tumbles from the highest heights of heroism right into the fiery pits of villainy. Think about it. What's more captivating? Someone who's always been perfect, or someone who was good once, but then something happened? Today, we're diving into two of the biggest, most talked about descents in history: Adam and Eve's little run in with the apple in the Garden of Eden, and Anakin Skywalker's epic slide into the dark side as Darth Vader. Apples and lightsabers. We are going biblical and galactic. Hi, hello, my name is Griffin the Gecko, and this is a comparative analysis of biblical narratives and Anakin Skywalker's transformation into Darth Vader. Before you roll your eyes and say, seriously, comparing a religious allegory to a space opera, hear me out. These stories, through centuries and galaxies apart, share some seriously juicy parallels. Both narratives are essentially cautionary tales against the danger of temptation, the corrupting influence of power, and the agonizing struggle to reclaim goodness. So, where do we start? How about the beginning? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In both Genesis and Star Wars, we're thrown into a universe with a force, unintended, shaping everything. In Genesis, it's God, the ultimate creator. In Star Wars, it's the Force. It's the mysterious, powerful energy field that binds the galaxy together, wielded by Jedi and Sith alike. Both forces, in their own way, are responsible for creation and maintaining balance. Just imagine Yoda preaching, "Begun, the creation has." Haha, I'm sorry. Think back to the beginning. Adam and Eve are chilling in paradise, completely oblivious to the concept of wrong. Anakin, on the other hand, is a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Padawan, a Jedi with more potential than anyone has ever seen. The common thread? Untainted innocence. They're both living in a bubble of perceived safety and virtue. In the biblical account of the fall of man found in the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve are depicted as innocent beings living in paradise, the Garden of Eden. They're created in the image of God, entrusted with the stewardship of the garden and living in harmony with their creator. But then, enter the serpent. In the garden, it's literally a serpent, whispering promises of forbidden knowledge and godlike power. In the Republic, it's Palpatine, a manipulative politician who preys on Anakin's fears and ambitions, offering ultimate power to save those he loves. The key takeaway? Doubt is the first crack in the facade. Once the seed of what if is planted, the fall is practically inevitable. This moment of disobedience leads not only to Adam and Eve's expulsion from Eden, but also to the introduction of sin and suffering into the world. The narrative sharply sets out the transition from a state of grace to one of corruption, illustrating how fragile human innocence is when faced with temptation. Genesis throws down the serpent, slithering in with temptation leading to the fall of mankind. Okay, but what about Star Wars? Palpatine, the ultimate manipulator, whispering sweet nothings of power and control into impressionable ears. Both the serpent and Palpatine are masters of deception, pulling strings from the shadows and turning good into evil. Think about it. Adam and Eve bite the apple. Anakin Skywalker falls to the dark side. Coincidence? I think not. As a young Jedi, Anakin initially embodies great potential and purity. He's believed to be the chosen one, destined to bring balance to the Force. Like Adam and Eve, Anakin possesses a significant degree of freedom and agency. However, his choices, influenced by fear and ambition, ultimately lead him down a pretty dark path. His transformation into Darth Vader symbolizes the tragic loss of innocence driven by overwhelming temptation, paralleled starkly to Eve's encounter with the serpent. And speaking of falling to the dark side, let's talk about family drama real quick. The book of Genesis is like a soap opera. Cain and Abel, sibling rivalry at its finest. Jacob and Esau, more sibling drama. Star Wars cranks it up to 10. Luke and Leia, siblings. Darth Vader and Luke, father and son. The Skywalker family has more baggage than a Star Destroyer on a long haul. Genesis deals with humanity's first family, and Star Wars deals with the family that happens to be shaping the entire galaxy. Heavy stuff. External influences. The role of manipulation and deceit. Let's be real, though neither Adam, Eve, or Anakin were entirely responsible for their own downfalls. They were influenced. The serpent convinced Eve that God was holding out on them, that knowledge was the key to unlocking their true potential. Palpatine masterfully convinced Anakin that the Jedi were holding him back, that only the dark side could give him power to prevent death. In Genesis, the serpent's cunning appeals to Eve's curiosity and desire for wisdom. The serpent distorts the truth and presents the forbidden fruit as a gateway to enlightenment, leading Eve to question the authority and intentions of God. The seductive nature of this temptation and the resulting choices have profound repercussions, not only for Adam and Eve, but for all of humanity. Similarly, Anakin's descent into darkness is enhanced by the manipulative words of Emperor Palpatine, the Sith Lord, who expertly exploits his fear of loss, particularly regarding his secret marriage to Padme Amidala and his premonitions of her death. Palpatine plays the role of a mentor, guiding Anakin with false promises of power and control, much like the serpent offers knowledge and enlightenment to Eve. Anakin's ultimate choice to embrace the dark side is heavily influenced by various external pressures that prey on his vulnerabilities, suggesting a pretty quick parallel to Eve's manipulated choice in the garden. Think of it like this. They were both playing chess, but the other side had a secret, invisible hand constantly nudging the pieces in their favor. This highlights an uncomfortable truth. We are all susceptible to manipulation, especially when someone promises something that we so desperately want. The torment of redemption. Is it ever too late? Okay, so both sides fell, hard, but here's where things get interesting. While Adam and Eve are banished from the garden, left to face the consequences of their actions, Anakin becomes a monstrous cyborg enforcer of an evil empire. But the spark of good is still there, flickering beneath the black armor. Both narratives culminate in the exploration of redemption, presenting the struggle between once past transgressions and the hope for salvation. In the biblical account, after the fall, Adam and Eve face the grim reality of their choices. They endure suffering, alienation from God, and the burden of their sin. Yet, the narrative does not completely abandon hope. It foreshadows redemption through Christ, proposing a pathway for humanity to seek forgiveness and restore their relationship with the divine. In Star Wars, Anakin's transformation into Darth Vader represents the pinnacle of moral corruption. He becomes the embodiment of evil in the galaxy. The ultimate question becomes, can they be redeemed? Can they ever atone for their sins? In the biblical narrative, the future is one of hardship and struggle, but with the promise of eventual salvation. In Star Wars, Anakin's redemption comes in the form of a heroic sacrifice, a final act of love that destroys the Emperor and saves his son. But it's not all doom and intergalactic despair. Oh no, both stories offer redemption. Genesis, through the promise of a Messiah, offers hope. In Star Wars, Darth Vader, in his final moments, throws off the shackles of the dark side and saves his son, bringing balance back to the Force. It's proof that even the most fallen can find their way back to the light. What a tearjerker. So what's the takeaway? Whether you're reading about the creation of the universe or watching Luke Skywalker battle Darth Vader, you're witnessing timeless themes of good versus evil, temptation, redemption, and the enduring power of hope. Genesis lays the foundation, and Star Wars adds the special effects and space battles. And that, my friends, is something worth pondering, whether you're on Earth or a galaxy far, far away. In conclusion, The Fall of Man and Anakin Skywalker's transformation into Darth Vader serve as rich narratives that explore the complexities of human nature, the consequences of choice, and the enduring quest for redemption. Both stories reveal the fragility of innocence in the face of temptation, the impact of internal influences, and the struggles of reconciling one's past with the desire for forgiveness. The takeaway? Even after the darkest of falls, even after embracing evil, the possibility of redemption remains. It might be a difficult, painful journey, but it's a journey that resonates deeply within us because it speaks to the core of what it means to be human. We are all flawed, capable of making terrible, terrible mistakes, but also capable of profound love and sacrifice. So, next time you bite into an apple or fire up your lightsaber, remember Adam, Eve, and Anakin. Their stories are more than just religious parables or science fiction epics. They're reflections of our own internal struggles, our own temptations, and our own potential for both good and evil. And that, my friends, is why we can't look away. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon. Bye.